So once we entered Spain from Morocco, we took a train from Algeciras to Granada, and we had two
Yeah.
nights in Granada. Granada was my favorite city in south of Spain. It was a mountainous city. It had beautiful landscape, very cultural, very historical. So we started by just walking around the city, just exploring. On top of our list of must see in Granada was Alhambra Palace. Alhambra Palace is a beautiful example of Islamic architecture, Islamic and Moorish architecture. It was built by the Nasri dynasty and it is located on top of a mountain, so there's a bit of a hike as you walk towards it from the Granada city. Once we got there, there was a long queue, so I would suggest to buy tickets online or tickets a few days before, just so you don't have to wait in queues. Once you enter into the Alhambra Palace, there's a lot to see there. There are Alhambra Gardens, there's Alhambra Palace, and there's also Kasbah. And it takes you one whole day to explore this whole part of Granada. So I would suggest keeping one day just for Alhambra. I love the fact that Alhambra Palace was on top of a mountain because the views from there were absolutely stunning. You could see the whole city, the whole Granada city, and we loved exploring the Alhambra grounds. After exploring Alhambra grounds, we continued walking around Granada city. As the city is built on a mountain, it was uphill and downhill walk. We continued going uphill and found a cathedral at the top with a beautiful view of the whole city. That's After Granada, our next stop was Cordoba. We only had a night stay in Cordoba, but we loved every moment of it. It was a very historic but very calm and peaceful city. They had a mosque that was changed into a cathedral, so we enjoyed the architecture, we enjoyed the history. and it's a must visit city as well. My favorite part of south of Spain was the orange trees. The trees were full of oranges and they looked so beautiful. And I think it was the season, so everywhere we went, there were orange trees with full of oranges, and even in grocery stores and shops, there was you would find orange juice easily. After Cordoba, our next stop and last stop in Spain was Seville. Seville is the biggest city that we have visited so far. It's also very historical but very touristy and crowded and busy. We started our day by exploring just the city, just looking at the architecture, the old historic buildings, and then we walked towards Plaza de España. Plaza de España was a very interesting place. It's a huge half circle and the buildings are accessible through a bridge. It's a very cool hangout place. We saw lots of performances happening, people just hanging out, spending time with family, and at night it becomes even more beautiful with lights everywhere, and the architecture has beautiful colors that I love exploring.
ये आपकी वीडियो में फोटो बम
I always wanted to see a bullfight when I was in Spain because that's one of their specialities other than flamenco dance and Tomatina festival. Unfortunately, we didn't have time for that, so we just went and saw a bull ring called Plaza de Toros. That's one of the famous monuments and most visited in Seville. They also have a museum, a small museum about that gives you information about bullfights, the kind of uniform they wear, the kind of equipment they use for that. So that was a very informative and interesting experience. Please do not forget to subscribe, like my videos, and also press the bell button just so you get notifications whenever a new video is uploaded.